July 15th, 2006, we're in Loudon, New Hampshire at the New Hampshire International Speedway. Rookie sensation James Savali battles the veteran John Blewett III to the white flag in front of a record-setting crowd. The NASCAR Modified Tour race in Loudon never disappoints in excitement, and this race was nothing short of spectacular. Dubbed the New England 100 is the Daytona 500 for the modifieds, and everyone would do anything to win. After 99 laps and 27 lead changes, we're down to a war between a group of drivers with much diversity. A NASCAR Cup Series star, then one of the most successful drivers at this track. Another is a seasoned veteran, and one very enthusiastic rookie. But in order to figure out how all the chaos played out, and how just a couple laps ago, a few drivers that were leading are no longer in this picture, we need to rewind. On a warm, overcast day in New England, the Modifieds took to the Magic Mile for this first of two visits this season. Drafting with tightly packed racing was the theme whenever the calendar approached this event, and everyone loved it. Voted the best race of the NASCAR weekend after every visit, it grew in popularity with the big Cup stars of NASCAR, to the point where the drivers and teams would stop from working on their cars after practice and stand on top of their haulers to catch the race. But this year was a little different. Two major Cup starts decided to enter into the race. First was Tony Stewart, the defending champion of the NASCAR Cup Series and the winner of last year's Loudon Cup race. Nicknamed Smoke and the Cup Series bad boy, he had some experience with open-wheel race cars through his come-up in Indy cars, but also had experience in a modified. In 1997, he drove Bob Park's Modified to victory lane during Speed Weeks in New Smyrna, and more recently, raced one of Ted Christopher's Sunoco Modifieds at Thompson Speedway, where he originally wasn't planning on racing the feature because he was only scheduled to participate in a special match race with TC and Jimmy Spencer earlier in the event. But due to him having so much fun, he convinced everyone to let him race, and after starting last, he won the feature. In victory lane with TC shaking his hand, Stewart said, "Keep in mind, I really don't know what I'm doing, so I was just running around where I was comfortable. But after the match race, I felt that I could put the car anywhere. I used the third lane where nobody was, and it worked. I really want to thank Teddy for letting us race as well." Now, 3 years later, he would field the backup car for Kurt Chase Racing as a teammate to Doug Covey. With sponsorship for Foxwoods Casinos, he would donate all his winnings to charity. And would Smoke ever live up to his reputation after the 100-lap distance? The other Cup star was last year's breakout rookie and crowd favorite, Carl Edwards. Cousin Carl also fielded a backup car and drove for Don Barker and Bob Cuneo, and was a teammate to the 2003 Series champion Todd Zegedy. With sponsorship from Jeff Bodine's bobsled team, he entered into the race after having some prior experience racing in a modified. During last year's special North-South shootout at the Concord Speedway, he drove a backup car for Ralph Solom and finished a respectable 13th against the best modified drivers from up and down the East Coast. When Edwards agreed to race Loudon, he said, "I couldn't pass this opportunity up. Not only will I be helping the USA bobsled team, but I'll get a chance to drive a fast little modified against Tony and all of the Wheelin' regulars." With the fresh faces introduced, it was time to talk about the season Modified Tour Brotherhood. In a very hotly contested championship title approaching the midway point of the season, Mike Stefanik entered Loudon with just an 11-point lead, which was only 3 positions on the track, over Tony Hirschman. And the top 8 drivers in the standings were separated by only 24 positions, which was just over half the amount of cars entered for this race alone. Every position mattered, and with 2 one-off race drivers entering, it could greatly impact the standings. In addition, we've seen at other tracks and series when big stars decided to race a one-off event, they don't respect the equipment lent to them and the other drivers around them, and it could make the regulars nervous about their equipment getting beat up as they don't have the cash flow the celebrities do. Tony Hirschman, the defending champion and who was second in the points, lost this race last year by a foot, touched on the competitiveness of the tour. "We've run well this year, although we have not won. This tour continues to get stronger and stronger. There are so many drivers and teams who can win a race that you have to be at your very best during every race." To Hirschman's point, the front row consisted of 2 young drivers that many wouldn't have picked to lead the field to the green at a place like New Hampshire. Zach Sylvester, who was 16th in the points and almost beat Hirschman in the prestigious Stafford Spring Sizzler, won the pole and would lead the field to the green, with Jimmy Blewett, whom was 14th in the points and finished second to his older brother John in the last race, would start to his outside. Sylvester said, "To come here and put the car on the pole is huge. This gives us as a team a boost." Once the green flag flew, the lead changes began, and over the course of the 100-lap distance, the average amount of laps someone held the lead was 3.5. Only 3 times was someone able to lead a stint of laps greater than 10, but that also included caution laps. So if you were keeping track, there were really 55 lead changes if you counted all the way around the track. Now, fast-forwarding a bit, unfortunately for Carl Edwards, he wasn't one of the 8 different drivers that led laps. Instead, he locked wheels with another driver on lap 43, ending his day. Edwards said, "We had some fun. I just caught that guy's left rear. I just pulled out a pass in the corner, and I jumped his left rear a little bit. It went bad real quick." On the flip side, he did go on to win the Busch Series race that preceded this event, so there's that. As the second quarter of the race approached, we really started to see the leader only hold the lead for a few laps at a time. Reggie Ruggiero, Tony Hirschman, Ted Christopher, and Doug Coby exchanged the lead 9 times across laps 23 to 58 without any contact. And it looked like these 4 would be the guys to fight it out in the closing stages. But towards the 3/4 mark, there would be more drivers that would join in on the fun. While they were entertaining those watching the lead, Tony Stewart was entertaining everyone else. He came from a 21st starting position and came through the field before he pitted later for tires. As we all know, Smoke isn't afraid to get aggressive, and once his teammate Coby retired after an accident, he pitted and made his final march to the front. Coby mentioned that he was hoping having Stewart in the team car would help bring some exposure to their team, and boy did Stewart try and help deliver. Coby was excited, as ever since it was announced in May that Stewart was racing with him and the Chase team, saying, "I don't know how you couldn't look up to him as a driver. The guy could drive anything and does drive anything. I put guys like him and Ken Schrader in a really cool book, which is guys that will drive anything just because they love to race. I don't race to get paid for it. I race because I love it." While Stewart was embarking on his last stand, a new wave of drivers started swapping the lead, and all 3 would play major roles in the ending of this race. James Savali, John Blewett III, and Jerry Markey battled with TC and Reggie until the end. After the race, Blewett was asked about being in the fight for the lead for so long, and he said, "I never raced as hard as I did today. It was hard, on the edge stuff, but neither one of us ever once went over that edge. I don't know if I would have called it fun, as it was more work than anything else." With close to 10 laps remaining, Stewart was smelling blood and made a huge 3-wide pass entering turn 1 and ruffled some feathers of Tony Hirschman. But the caution came out with 11 to go, and Stewart was now in 3rd behind Reggie and the leader Jerry Markey. When the race resumed with 5 to go, Stewart got a big run on Markey off turn 2 and tapped the rear bumper, getting the 4-car loose. Both of them made contact, sending Stewart towards the infield road course section. He kept it off the wall and rejoined the pack in 7th. While the 494 lost the lead, James Savali and John Blewett lead the pack. This now leaves us here, after all the storylines and tensions. We are about to crown a winner, Savali and Blewett. Who would it be? Welcome to a moment in history. Well, hold on a second. The caution flew as Blewett made a move on Savali. Savali was originally crowned the winner and celebrated in victory lane as Blewett immediately left the track as he needed to catch a flight to New Jersey for his weekly racing series at Wall Stadium. While the officials were meeting about the finish, Tony Stewart parked next to Markey, and Tony Hirschman and the dark side of Smoke came out. Stewart said, "Nice left turn into me. Don't worry, I'll remember that when I come back. I guarantee it. You drive like that, and that's why you're here, and I'm where I am." Markey's rebuttal was shorter and stated, "You're going to start pushing us around and start wrecking our own race cars? Stay in your own series and wreck your own race cars. You do a damn good job at that." While the war of words cooled off, the officials were ready to deliver a decision regarding the winner. With his car parked in front of victory lane on pit road, the officials reviewed the scoring loops and videotape and announced that John Blewett III is the winner of the 2006 New England 100 and the greatest Loudon NASCAR Modified Tour race. Welcome to a photo in history. In the following month, James Savali would capture his first ever NASCAR Modified victory in dramatic fashion again. This time it wasn't taken away. And John Blewett III would be able to celebrate his Loudon win when the Modifieds returned in September, as he went on to win that event as well. If you enjoyed this video, here are some more to keep you entertained.